Xiaomi is the world's second-largest smartphone manufacturer, trailing only Samsung, with over 685 million active users across more than 100 countries. Today, Xiaomi smartphones and smart devices are ubiquitous, seamlessly integrating into daily life with an impressive 861 million connected devices in its ecosystem. But what began as a simple software venture by an entrepreneur who had once tasted failure would evolve into a global tech empire, one that even dethroned Apple from its number 2 spot in the smartphone market. This is the extraordinary story of how a visionary idea turned into a technological revolution. In the early 2000s, China's tech landscape was undergoing a massive transformation. The mobile revolution was in full swing. 3G licenses were being issued, and internet adoption was soaring from 70 million users to over 320 million in just 2 years. Startups flooded Beijing, with entrepreneurs eager to stake their claim in this rapidly evolving digital frontier. Enter Lei Jun. In 2007, after stepping down as CEO of Kingsoft, a software company he had built over 16 years, he found himself at a crossroads. Despite taking Kingsoft public, the company's valuation felt underwhelming compared to the explosive growth of younger internet giants like Tencent and Alibaba. Determined to understand what set these companies apart, Lei Jun became an angel investor, funding startups like UCWeb and Fanxia. Observing their meteoric rise, he realized a fundamental truth: timing was everything. Then, the game-changing moment arrived. The mobile internet era begins. In 2007, Apple revolutionized the industry with the iPhone, and shortly after, Google released Android as a free platform. The mobile internet era was poised for explosive growth. Global giants like Nokia, Motorola, Apple, and Samsung dominated the market, while in China, local brands like Huawei, ZTE, Coolpad, and Lenovo held strong positions. However, Chinese tech companies were still widely regarded as imitators rather than innovators. Lei Jun recognized a massive opportunity. There was no true middle ground in the smartphone market. Apple's premium devices were prohibitively expensive, while domestic manufacturers churned out low-cost, low-quality alternatives. Lei saw a gap: high-quality smartphones at an accessible price. With this vision in mind, he set out to build something revolutionary. But there was just one problem. He had no experience in hardware, no industry connections, and no manufacturing capabilities. For most, these obstacles would have been deal-breakers. For Lei Jun, they were just the beginning of an audacious journey that would reshape the tech industry. The MIUI revolution. Undeterred, Lei Jun knew the key to success was assembling an exceptional team. He spent 80% of his time recruiting top talent, convincing industry experts to join his venture. Among them was Lin Bin, a former Google executive who was initially planning to launch a music search startup before Lei persuaded him to join Xiaomi. Instead of diving straight into hardware, Xiaomi began with software. On April 6, 2010, a small team of engineers founded Xiaomi and focused on developing MIUI, a highly customized Android-based operating system designed to enhance the user experience. Unlike Apple, which released annual updates, MIUI introduced weekly updates based on real user feedback, creating an engaged community of passionate tech enthusiasts. By the time Xiaomi was ready to launch its first smartphone, it had already built a loyal base of 500,000 users through MIUI. The company wasn't just selling phones, it was fostering a movement, a bold business model. The conventional approach to building a tech empire involved maximizing profit margins. Xiaomi chose a radically different path: make the best possible smartphone and sell it at half the price of an iPhone. At a time when Apple's iPhone 4S sold for $800 in China, Xiaomi's first device, the Mi 1, launched at just $320, undercutting competitors while maintaining premium specifications. Experts dismissed this model as unsustainable, yet Xiaomi had a plan. One phone at a time. Instead of flooding the market with multiple models, Xiaomi focused on a single device to ensure top-tier quality. Direct-to-consumer sales. By selling exclusively online, the company eliminated middlemen and passed the savings to customers. Premium components at an accessible price. Despite skepticism from suppliers, Xiaomi gradually won over top-tier component manufacturers like Sharp and Qualcomm. The strategy worked. When the Mi 1 launched in December 2011, its first batch of 300,000 units sold out in just 2.5 hours, a figure Xiaomi had initially projected for the phone's entire life cycle. But smartphones were just the beginning. The AIoT revolution. While many saw Xiaomi as just another smartphone company, Lei Jun had a far bigger vision. He believed the future of technology would be defined by three key eras. The PC era, which revolutionized work. The mobile era, which transformed communication. The AIoT era, where smart, interconnected devices would shape everyday life. Xiaomi wasn't merely building phones, it was constructing an entire smart ecosystem. This vision led to a bold challenge in 2013. Lei Jun bet that Xiaomi's revenue would surpass that of Gree Electric, one of China's largest appliance companies, within 5 years. Many dismissed this as an impossible feat, but Lei had a secret weapon, a revolutionary approach to business. Building an ecosystem. Instead of attempting to dominate every sector itself, Xiaomi pioneered an ecosystem-based strategy, investing in and partnering with smaller, specialized companies. By fostering innovation and leveraging its extensive user base, Xiaomi rapidly expanded beyond smartphones into smart home devices, wearables, and more. Today, that vision has become a reality. Xiaomi's AIoT ecosystem boasts over 861 million connected devices, making it a powerhouse in the smart technology industry. What started as a software project by an entrepreneur with no hardware experience has become one of the most disruptive success stories in modern tech. And if history is any indication, Xiaomi's journey is far from over. Xiaomi's journey was built on a bold idea, empowering passionate entrepreneurs with the Xiaomi platform and brand while allowing them to maintain their independence. It was less about building a company and more about creating a federation of startups, all united under the Xiaomi banner. The first real test of this model came in 2013 with what seemed like a simple product. He turned to his longtime friend, Jiang Fan, with an ambitious challenge: create the perfect power bank at an unbeatable price. Jiang Fan approached the project like an artist obsessed with perfection. He traveled to 30 cities, developed nearly 20 prototypes, and refined every tiny detail. For core components, only the best would do: Panasonic's premium 18,650 battery cells, triple air protection, dual safety chips, and advanced software. When the final product was ready, manufacturing costs stood at 70 yuan. Most companies would have priced it at 200 yuan or more, but Lei Jun remained true to his disruptive philosophy. He set the price at 69 yuan, even lower than production costs. The launch on December 3, 2013, triggered a market frenzy. The first month saw 600,000 units sold. By month 2, 1.5 million. By year-end, over 10 million power banks had been sold. The industry was now divided into two eras, before and after Xiaomi. But for Lei Jun, the biggest takeaway wasn't sales numbers, it was validation that his ecosystem strategy could extend beyond smartphones. In early 2014, he and his team laid out an ambitious vision. On a whiteboard, they sketched what would become the 1 plus 4 plus X strategy. 1 equals smartphones as the core. 4 equals key ecosystem pillars: TVs, routers, speakers, and laptops. X equals an endless universe of smart devices. The model was radical. Instead of controlling everything, Xiaomi would invest in passionate entrepreneurs who shared their vision. Their mantra became: invest without controlling, help without interfering. They weren't just building a company, they were assembling an army of innovators. Success stories followed. The Xiaomi Air Purifier, developed by Xiaomi Technology, sold 31,200 units in a single day. The reinvented Power Strip by QMI Technology moved 100,000 units in just 3 months. Each product followed Xiaomi's formula: premium quality, disruptive pricing, seamless connectivity. By 2015, Xiaomi had become China's largest smartphone brand and the world's third largest. Their online-only sales model seemed unstoppable, pushing 70 million phones that year. What started as a 14-person startup had grown into a tech giant valued at $45 billion. But cracks began to show. Competitors like Oppo and Vivo dominated China's smaller cities and rural areas by leveraging traditional retail stores. Xiaomi, focused on online sales, was missing out. Research teams sent to county towns found shocking realities. Competitor stores were everywhere, deeply embedded in communities for years. Some streets had 20 stores owned by the same businesswoman, all promoting non-Xiaomi brands because they earned higher profits. The numbers told a harsh truth. Over 80% of Chinese consumers still bought phones offline, while Xiaomi's e-commerce model captured less than 1% of that market. As online growth slowed, offline presence became a matter of survival. Internally, chaos brewed. Xiaomi had 8 separate smartphone departments operating in silos. Their hardware team, shockingly small, with just 30 people, struggled with supply chain issues. Samsung even cut off their screen supply. Meanwhile, excessive ads on MIUI damaged Xiaomi's reputation. By 2016, shipments had plunged 36% to 41.5 million units, dropping Xiaomi to 5th place. Their high-end Mi Note flopped, and Mi 5's launch was delayed by supply chain failures. The once revolutionary flat, internet-driven management style was now proving to be a liability in a rapidly scaling organization. Faced with these challenges, Lu Jun moved swiftly. In September 2015, Xiaomi rushed into offline expansion, opening its first Mi Home store in Beijing. But they faced a brutal reality. Competitors offered retailers up to 25% profit margins, while Xiaomi could only afford 2 to 5%. With high rent and labor costs, how could Xiaomi store survive? More importantly, how could they maintain uniform pricing across online and offline channels? The answer lay within their ecosystem. Unlike competitors who could only showcase phones, Mi Home stores became immersive smart home experience centers, displaying everything from rice cookers to air purifiers. Xiaomi's ecosystem products had a 2 to 3% attachment rate, meaning customers didn't just buy a phone, they bought multiple devices. This cross-selling strategy made offline stores profitable. By the end of 2016, offline sales accounted for 24.8% of Xiaomi's total revenue. Retail expansion was just one piece of the puzzle. Lu Jun also implemented critical reforms across R&D and supply chain operations. The company that once prided itself on being different from traditional manufacturers was now learning the hard lessons of manufacturing at scale. By 2017, the results were staggering. Smartphone sales surged to 91.4 million units, with revenue hitting 114.6 billion yuan, a 67.5% increase from the previous year. Xiaomi wasn't just recovering, it was becoming the fastest-growing internet company in the world. But Lu Jun knew their success was about more than just phones. Xiaomi's ecosystem was now a force of its own. The company was no longer just a smartphone brand. It had transformed into a technology universe, seamlessly integrating devices into daily life. With Xiaomi's rise, a new challenge emerged. Going public meant pressure to maximize profits, threatening Xiaomi's core commitment to affordability. To prevent this, Lu Jun took an unprecedented step. He proposed legally capping hardware profit margins at just 5%. In an industry where margins often exceed 20 to 30%, this was unheard of. Investors pushed back, leading to heated debates. But Lu Jun stood firm, and in the end, he won. Xiaomi's promise of innovation for everyone remained intact. It made the Fortune Global 500 list, ranking 468th and becoming the youngest company ever to join the prestigious ranks. Then came a geopolitical storm.
Waning days, Trump administration has imposed sanctions on 9 Chinese firms with alleged ties to Chinese military. The Trump administration has added mobile phone maker Xiaomi and plane maker Comac to the.
接到了一个朋友的电话，他说：“雷总，你们被美国制裁了。”那一下子，有如晴天霹雳，我马上就懵了。我们很快呢就召开了紧急的董事会，商量如何应对。就在这个董事会上，有一个董事问：“假如你们手机不能做了，你们3、4万人怎么办？”有一个董事就建议我说：“你们要不要认真考虑一下造车？”
The Trump administration blacklisted several Chinese firms, including Xiaomi, over alleged military ties. Facing mounting risks, Lu Jun saw the need for diversification. Enter electric vehicles. Lu Jun personally dove into the EV industry, test driving over 170 cars, visiting dealerships, and even obtaining a racing license to understand the driver experience firsthand. He refused to take shortcuts, focusing on core technologies like autonomous driving, LiDAR, and electric motors rather than relying on external partners. In December 2023, Xiaomi unveiled its first electric car, the Xiaomi SU7. Initial reactions were skeptical. Could a smartphone company really compete in the EV space? But once again, Xiaomi proved doubters wrong. Priced at 259,000 yuan, the SU7 boasted cutting-edge specs, sleek design, and exceptional value. Within 24 hours, pre-orders neared 990,000, shocking the industry. With the success of the SU7, Xiaomi had completed its ecosystem vision, a seamlessly connected universe of phones, smart devices, and now cars. From a 14-person startup to a global tech powerhouse, Xiaomi had defied expectations at every turn. They had reinvented industries, overcome massive challenges, and stayed true to their mission of making innovation accessible to all. And Lu Jun? He had once again proven himself, not just as a visionary leader, but as a god of marketing and disruption.
我也是到了40才明白啊，努力不是万能的，所以千万别钻牛角尖。眼里有光的人是不会精神内耗。如果实在撑不住，其实躺会没关系的，躺一躺也不丢人。我第一次躺的时候就躺了半年多，不要死磕，要顺势而为。最近几年。 不少人都特别的焦虑，特别的迷茫。很多人问，在时代变迁的洪流中，怎么才能保持内心的平静呢？我的答案很简单，就是成长。只有脚踏实地的成长，才有足够的自信、勇气与决心去迎接所有未知的挑战。人生是一场马拉松，一时的成败得失都不那么重要。 人生难题都将在成长中找到答案。
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching.